Good morning. So moving on from yesterday's lesson, today we're looking at reading scales. So we've learned all about mass and how it refers to weight and the amount of matter that something has. Today we're going to look at that further by reading scales. And we're going to think in different ways. Scales come in different forms. We have scales on a clock to show us minutes and hours. There's scales on a number line to help us count. We have scales when we weigh. And here also we have scales on our number lines. So we have different forms of scales. And I'm going to take you through because not all the scales read the same. So let's look at our first scale. Now our first scale is a standard number line, something you'll use all the time in class to help you add or subtract or count on or count back. This first number line, we can see, goes up in ones. And we know this by using our number knowledge, knowing what number comes next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. This is a standard 0 to 20 number line going up in ones. Now if we look at the next number line, this is a little bit different. Right, I'm looking at this number line and I'm using my number knowledge. So it's always important to go back to what you know. So here I can see my number line starts at 0. And the next number line I can see is 2. And then the next number I can see is 4. Now using my number knowledge, I know that this number line is going up in 2s. I can also use these lines in between to help me because I know that there is a number between 0 and 2 and this is marked by the line right here. So if that was written, that would be 1, 3 and 5 and so we would go up. So my question to you, what would these two numbers be? Use your number knowledge. What would go in these two boxes? Well done. Because you've counted up in 2s, you've done your jumps, you've recognised and you can see that there's a number in between. You know that the next number is 10 and after that we have 12. Okay, so moving on now, another number line. Just have a look at this and think about how this number line moves up the scale. What can you see and what can you tell me about this number line? Well done. The only numbers you can see are 0, 5, 10, 15 and 20. And again down here we have the same pattern that goes all the way to 100. So I'm going to use again my number knowledge and I know I can count in 5s and you've been practicing this as well in every lesson that you've been doing. So 0, I know that this would be 1, 2, 3, 4 and then we've got 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. These are really important to know the value of these numbers and these digits in between the numbers that we've been given. Now let's move on to our next scale. Here you can see a weighing scale. Now this weighing scale goes up in 100s. Well done. Let's get rid of that so we can see a clear thing. If we were to have this on a straight line, it would look like this. So don't panic just because you can see it in a circle. It works exactly the same. So what we need to do is work out the value between 200 and 100. How many smaller lines are there? Remove that again so we can see the scale clearly. So count the small dots for me. Start from 0 grams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I know that that's not 10, it's 100. So I'm going to count again. What must it be going up? If it starts in 0 and it gets to 100, what must those little dots represent? Now I'm going to use my number knowledge. I'm going to try again, and I'm going to count in tens. So I'm going to start by counting in tens. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Then that would take me to 100. So I know now that each one of these little ones equals 10 grams. And I know it's grams because I've got my G's here, which stand for grams. And we learned that one yesterday. So let's remove that. Just make it clearer. What does my scale read? So we've got 200 here and 300 here. So I'm going to count in tens starting from 200. 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260. And I'm going to stop there because that's where I think my arrow is pointing to. So I know that my scale reads 260 grams, and it's really important that you put that G there to represent your grams. So let's look at this one. Here I can see that it's going up in 50s because I'm starting with 0 and the next number I see is 50. So I'm going to count the lines in between. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm going to use my number knowledge again. I'm starting at 0 and I'm getting to 50. So I know that it's not 2s. I know it's not going up in 5s. So the next thing that it could be going up in is 10s. Now I think I'm right with that. I'm going to count in 10s. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. Which means my next number would be 50. So let's count on here. From 50 to 100. Again, I know my number knowledge that that's 50 grams. So I'm going to count in tens from 50. So 50 is here. 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay, I'm going to stop there because that's where my arrow is pointing to. So I know that this is 90 grams. Now you have to be really careful with your scales and think, are they going up in 1s? Are they going up in 2s? Are they going up in 5s? Or are they going up in 10s? These are the most common quantities that a scale will move up in. So read your scale really carefully, use your number knowledge, and good luck with your lesson.